Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today, Rivian finally unveiled the R2 platform, and in today's video, we're going to walk you through the Unveil event and summarize the most important things that you should know about the R2. Let's get into it.
Today, Rivian has unveiled the R2 electric SUV as its next generation electric vehicle, and there were also a few surprises despite some leaking before the event. Rivian has announced the R3 and R3X, and we'll get into them later of this video. So at the beginning of the Unveil event, RJ talked about the company, the service, and the great story of the R1 from many sources. And then he introduced the R2 platform, and which is the first vehicle of this platform is the R2. And this is a bit different from the previous prediction that it's going to be R2S, so the vehicle is just called R2. And for the design of the R2, if you're familiar with the R1S, and the car is actually looking very similar to it. So this means that Rivian has clearly decided to stick with its design language, which has already been very successful with the R1S. In addition, Rivian has a very big front trunk for the R2, and that appears to be significant storage. Another main new exterior design is the rolling down rear window that can enable large objects to fit in the back. The rear quarter window can also be opened at an angle for better aerodynamic performance with the airflow. So this kind of goes back to the adventure type of the vehicle that Rivian is really sticking to that picture. The charge port is also on the rear passenger side, as you can see in the picture before. And this is also a proof that the previous prediction and the previous picture is actually proved to be an R2. And for the interior of the R2, there are a few interesting features. And for example, you got two glove boxes instead of one. I think this is from many sources that there's complaint about the Rivian R1 that it doesn't have a glove box, and this time they made it two. So you can't complain about it. And that's a great feature, I feel. Another difference from the existing R1T and R1S design is the removal of the speaker, and which is leaving more space for the storage. And of course, it wouldn't be a Rivian without a flashlight. So they still have this flashlight in the R2. So the interior design is actually look very sharp and very similar to what we have already getting used to with the R1 platform, but it's a little less luxurious, which is no surprise. The Rivian also shown that you can actually fold flat the both front seat and the second seat.
The first row seat's folding flat. That gives you, if you're driving the vehicle, you can put long things in very easily. But if you're not driving the vehicle, let's say you're camping or staying overnight in the vehicle, it creates this awesome in-vehicle camping experience with an inflatable mattress.
And when it comes to the cockpit, Rivian is leveraging the existing design and the user interface of the R1S and R1T, and with a slightly different twist for more compact R2. And here, I'm actually very glad that the Rivian still keep the center screen, that it gives you a much better view when actually driving. I have a Tesla that I don't really like the way that how they put just one screen on the Model 3 and Model Y, and the Rivian definitely is doing a better job at this area. So regarding the spec, and the Rivian R2 is announced over 300 miles of the range for all variants, and this is going to include a single motor rear-wheel drive and dual motor all-wheel drive and tri-motor all-wheel drive. The tri-motor version will get from 0 to 60 in less than 3 seconds, which is bringing the SUV into a supercar category. As for the dimensions, the vehicle is virtually the same size as Tesla Model Y, and it's pretty clear that what market Rivian is going after there. And from this picture, you can see this is actually a set comparison between R2 and R1S. So it's slightly smaller and less wheelbase and less height. But the size is actually pretty good size for a regular family. I think with 1 or 2 kids, they still can carry a lot of luggage in the back. And Rivian has also announced the hand-free and attention-free autonomous driving on highways coming to R2. So this would make the vehicle level 3 self-driving. It's not clear if it's going to be available at launch or through the future software update. And R2 is also enabled by a brand new vehicle platform powered by a new 4695 battery cell format. And at this point, we still don't know how many kilowatt hours they put in R2 in order to get 300 miles range. But I think we'll get that data more for the future. And regarding the price and availability, RJ has actually announced a starting price of $45,000, and that's a really nice surprise. And with this vehicle equipped all these features, I think $45,000 with a rear-wheel drive vehicle is actually a really good and really compelling price. And if that's before the incentive, it sounds like it is, and it's going to be the very aggressive price and making the vehicle competitive with several other electric SUVs in the segment, including Tesla Model Y. And in the Unveil event, RJ is very excited to bring this vehicle to customers. So I think the current expectation is that the first batch of customers is going to get this vehicle at the first half of 2026. And RJ has also mentioned that they're going to leverage the existing Illinois factory to start producing R2. In the Unveil event, RJ has also unveiled a brand new category of vehicles called the Rivian R3 and R3X, which is a smaller size hatchback with a smaller design as the R2, and its performance sibling with the wider wheels and a more aggressive design presented as its own model. So the price and availability were not actually released from the event, but I believe there could be more information online and for the future that's going to come up. And from the Unveil event, we can definitely see the R2 is the highest priority of the company, and it will actually need to get prepared everything to produce this vehicle as soon as possible. And to me, 2026 is still 2 years away, and this is the biggest negative of this vehicle, is that it cannot come soon enough. And that is everything about today's Unveil event. Will you reserve an R2? Leave your comment below and share more about your thoughts. And subscribe my channel if you want to know more about the EV news and reviews. I'll catch you up in the next video.
Hey, you ready?
Come on,